Hi, my name is Margaret Mallory. I write historical romance, medievals in particular. First book is Night of Desire. This is the cover. It's set in the early 1400s. Henry V is Prince Harry, and he's a childhood friend of my heroine. And her first husband, that of course is arranged for her, it turns out to be a really hateful man who is also a traitor and is part of a conspiracy against the king. And my heroine ends up spying on him on behalf of Prince Harry. And when he is caught and executed, she thinks she'll have her freedom then, but instead another marriage is arranged for her immediately with the man who prevailed against her husband in battle. And he's a man who he's a hardened warrior with a lot of trust issues, and he's marrying a woman who spied on her first husband, which you know, sets them up for some conflict and a long road ahead. And I'm going to read an excerpt for you. "How long do I have," she asked weakly, "before I must make my choice of prisons?" When her head was clear, when she did not feel so ill, perhaps she could find a way out of this. The bishop's nostrils flared. "The marriage is to take place at once." "At once?" she asked. "Am I to go from one hell to another with no reprieve?" Her burst of anger left her feeling drained and lightheaded. "When?" she asked, fixing her gaze on the wooden planks of the drawbridge beneath her feet. "When will he come? Please, God, let it be weeks and not days." "He is here now." She looked up to find the bishop peering over his shoulder. In her distress, she had forgotten about the other men. The soldiers at the front moved aside to allow a single rider on an enormous black warhorse to come forward. Unable to move, Catherine watched in horror as the huge animal bore down on her. Its hot breath was on her face before the man reined it in. She swallowed and forced her gaze slowly upward to take in the man. Her eyes rested first on his hand, grasping the hilt of his sword as though he sensed danger and was prepared to meet it. She followed the line of his arm. When she reached his chest, her stomach tightened. His surcoat was streaked with blood, blood of his enemies, blood of the vanquished. Her eyes were drawn inextricably upward toward his face. She saw grime and blood and matted hair. Then her gaze met the raging fury in the beast's eyes, and she fainted dead away.
Why did you choose this time period?
Well, you know, people ask me that. I love history, so I could have chosen different time periods, but I've always liked the stories of knights, you know, and sword fights, and you know, the theme of honor. And I needed a war going on. You know, I have my heroine taken hostage at one point by rebels. So the historical time period really gave me a lot to work with in terms of having an exciting, adventurous plot and being able to bring in some historical figures, which is pretty fun.